Here. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. You guys know I'm into fostering dogs. And we went and got us a dog a couple weeks ago, Miss Daisy. I picked up Daisy. She's the most skittish, make no sudden movements, quiet, not a peep. 3 weeks later, I don't know what's going on, but she doesn't shut up. She's in that backyard singing. So I don't know, I guess I was a little late to flip the switch here, but you get the dog to shut up now. I don't know, I want to take her voice, but man, she has really found her confidence. And she's not even barking at nothing back there. She's just going off. So now I'm a little worried because I'd be leaving for long hours. You're barking the whole time? Oh, jeez, go. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. I gotta get another one. Dude. I don't know if it's coming through on the mic. She's crazy, man. What up, Pojen? What up, Andy? What up, Eric? Appreciate that, Eric. What up, Justin? I have to get a security. Some streamers on Twitch do like cat cam. I have to put a camera in the backyard. Live stream. Daisy barking at the freaking sky. A lot of baseball today. Some baseball already going. So this is the first time we've done this time slot while there's some baseball going. I want to see what, but I just went back there. What she was barking at. Literally nothing. Absolutely nothing. What up, Ryan? Yeah. I guess I should be happy that she found her confidence. But whatever. Hey, we're gonna upkeep the MLB Grind premium spreadsheet. Gonna be laid back. Cadillac Jack. We did. I did remove a couple games that are already going that were in the spreadsheet for early researches. Hope you guys did all right last night. The Athletics went a little cray. Ready to go. All right. Check out the weather first, Mr. Roth. No orange. That's a good sign. What a game. All right, so these early games are kind of like scattered. There's like 2 game slates. I don't think I'm gonna. Actually, there's only one. There's 2 games. F it. And we got lineups for both of them. All right, let's go. Early D-backs and the Giants D-backs lineup. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Martes. Suarez. Smith. Elliot Ramos, Wilmer Flores, bad. Jung Ho Lee. Saw some weird narrative last night about some Korean food plate that they had at they were debuting last night. Oh, narrative, we missed a narrative. Where are we drawing the line here? New hot dog. Pete Alonso loves hot dogs. It actually makes sense. 4.3 run total for the D-backs. Giants 4.4. Erod taking out Jordan Hicks. Erod a 25% K rate this season with a sub 10% swinging strike rate. 15.7% called strike. Those two numbers usually don't create a 25% K rate. I believe we've kind of gone down this rabbit hole, Erod, in the past. We got time to do. Luis Castillo just what? Dude, it's rough. I wanted Castillo so bad on the Yankees. So bad. But it's just like elite pitchers seem to have small windows except for a very elite bunch. Or they have renaissances later. So Erod has had just 3 games this season with double-digit swinging strike rates. He's odd. Individual game strikeout rates or strikeout results really spike. Ebbs and flows. Philly 10 strikeouts, Miami 9 strikeouts, Washington 12. So it was the 10% swinging strike rate. Philly 12%. Those games he found it. Basically, my pessimism is that I don't think Erod, the 1-4 K rate overall, doesn't have a single pitch in his repertoire right now with a 30% whiff. I feel like he should be like a 22%. Might be splitting hairs. He is facing a Giants team with decent strikeout numbers. Wilmer Flores, Jung Ho Lee, 2 guys that are tougher to strike out, but he is facing all but one righty. We can look at those righty splits here at 3.8 xFIP, 300 average allowed, 212 home run per 9. Tough park to hit him out, but little day game action out there in Oracle, and don't mind guys like Elliot Ramos to stay hot in this spot. And Jung Ho Lee has been perfectly fine left. So a 2-game slate, Castillo, Warren, Hicks. Feel like we're gonna have to come Dacker it up. You think Erod gets this lineup with a decent chunk of strike? Oh, I need some noise canceling headphones. We're gonna go Erod. Erod, D-backs, Giants. Oh, I ranked out. I'm giving him 23.5. Still think that's ambitious. 21% carry. Red walk. Yeah. Solid 8. What's up, Pinstripe? Traverse City to Lansing. Pretty cool. Ride was going well. I drove to Dallas last night. Came back at I-35. Lonely stretch of highway, but it's beautiful at night. Get some good tunes going. Hey now. Erod 16.5, Hicks at 15.5. So Jordan Hicks has not been a great strikeout pitcher this season, despite my hopes that his high velo sinker would set him up for more strikeouts, but he is throwing a lot of strikes to righties. Walking lefties at a 9% clip, only striking lefties out at a 20% clip with a 4x FIP. The D-backs team, I'm a big fan of them. They're a fun DFS team. Corbin Carroll staying hot. This 1 through 4 is an interesting 1 through 4 that doesn't strike out. Eugenio Suarez does strike out, but he hits dingers. Pavin Smith, same thing. And then the bottom half of this lineup gets a little So that's why I guess the Giants are a little home favored. And also you start considering the bullpens. The Giants bullpen has performed much better than the D-backs bullpen. But from a DFS standpoint, I do kind of lean towards the D-backs just because you can get a little power and a little stolen base out of them. That's why I ranked them the way I did. And then Hicks would be the least interesting to me to fire up strikeouts. But all pitchers are clickable. So put them in. Pulled all this out. It gave me 4.7 strikeouts for Hicks, 5.5 for each. Nothing groundbreaking. Get the Yankees game filled out, and then we can launch this. Yankees a 4.1 wide run total. Mariners 4.1. Trent Grisham and Rice back-to-back lefties at the top of the line. Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger. We got 3 lefties in the top 4. Never thought I'd see the day. Jason Dominguez. Jalen Mayhew in the lineup. Didn't start yesterday, which was a good thing in my opinion, because I mentioned I was a little worried about having a contact ground baller like Max Fried up there and throwing in a guy, a little rusty, little lack of chemistry with the current roster. But I felt like it was the right play to not start him. Didn't really matter. Louis Castillo taking on Will Warren. Will Warren has been somebody I've been waiting to collapse via the advanced metrics, and we got a little bit of that in that last outing. He's got something there. He does. I don't think it's ready. Plus grades on Stuff Plus. That's what you want. But what you don't want is this 13 to 15% walk rate to lefties the last 2 years, the elevated power allowed to lefties, and the elevated xFIP. So what we're seeing with Will Warren is almost like an elite bullpen arm. Can really go out there and mow down a lane of righties, but lefties right now, not a strong suit. And the Mariners actually rolled out an extremely lefty-heavy lineup when you consider their switch hitters, Jorge Polanco, Cal Raleigh, and Leody Taveras. So, I'm worried. I'm worried about him. Looking at the bullpen usage from last night. Seattle went to their big dogs. Doesn't necessarily mean they wouldn't be available today, but you probably don't see all 3. The Yankees also went to their big dogs. Devin Williams has pitched back-to-back days. Fernando Cruz and Luke Weaver went out and threw 17 and 21 respectively. Doesn't mean they wouldn't be available today. But maybe not so much Cruz. So we'd almost certainly see Ian Hamilton. We'd almost certainly not see Fighter. So Matzik, Gary De Los Santos. Still possible. Luke Weaver would probably be. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go Mariners. Top of my intro. I'm gonna go Yankees. Luis Castillo has also a little bit of a lefty bug. Been better this year in terms of results, especially power suppression, but it's not really something I expect to hold up. I guess the hard contact rate to lefties is lower, much lower than the last 2 years, but the xFIP is higher. The strikeout rate has plummeted even more, and the walk rate's up a little bit. So, not necessarily keys to domination here. And it's really, really good top of the Yankees lineup when it comes to lefties. I can't believe Grisham has invoked those words from me, but here we are. And of course, Ben Rice, and then getting to Judgy. Not a lot of hit for average in this version of the Yankees lineup, and the bottom half of this lineup are three guys that could not be on the roster later this year or be bench playing. So it's not your full well-rounded Yankees team. This is almost a spring training lineup. So if Castillo got right here, I wouldn't be surprised. But the sub 10% swing and strike rate scares me. The 17.5% overall strike rate scares me. Strikeout rate scares me. The Sierra's elevated. Just looks like a more diminished, less talented version of Luis Castillo. So why is that? Let's go look at some pitches. Fastball velo has dipped probably year over year, right? So the dominant Luis Castillo that we remember from Cincinnati is out there piping 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Goes to Seattle, loses a mile in 23, loses another mile in 24. Here we are again in 25, losing another mile per hour. So we've seen a 3-mile-an-hour decline on fastball from Cincy to now. And that has transferred into just about everything. Sinker, his slider, not so much his changeup. That's probably the culprit. Is the fastball is just more hittable because it's fast, or not as fast as it. Arm slot is about the same. Really all we need. Fastball's not fasting. With that said, it's a 2-game slate. It is a pitcher's park. I'd be more inclined to click Castillo on a 2-game than Will Warren. But both teams do present some strikeout opportunity. Let me preface that. 2-game. The over-under on how many times it scares you, asking for a friend. I don't know what that means. Let's put in a pitcher projection from this game. We're in 5. Go. Give him 18. Buried on Warren. Walks lefties much more. I'm gonna give him a. Go. Our outs here. Steal 17.5 on the over. Erod, Warren. I mean, this is all really Castillo, Warren, and Erod are the same play. They're plus minus 1 point. And then Jordan Hicks, a little bit of separation. Tied for lowest outs in the lowest. Decorating. Yankee. It goes without saying, you're playing this slate, you are very likely going to get some hitters against your pitchers. Any contest worth playing? Single. Really not. I thought it would have been like a fun exercise to go pop open the there's a 8K extra inning, 2K to first. That'd be cool to do one of these streams though. Get a worthwhile early slate. Put together a line. I'd rather just do oh well. Sour pink lemonade ghost energy hits different when that Indica kicks in. Jonathan Indica. That's a bad. His name is India. Alright, let's get to the main slate then. Or over this. Is this Red Sox? I don't know what this thing. Ew. That expert played on DraftKings. Guess we're gonna cover it, but man, these games are so oddly spaced out. Yeah. Could have just put this on the. Yeah, well. All right, Red Sox and the Tigers. Red Sox have a 2.8 run total. Sheesh. Tigers 4.3. Tariq Skubal. Not even on. Taking on Hunter Dobbins. Dobbins at 20% overall K rate. 22.2 innings pitched this season. Is allowing a lot of everything to lefties so far in small sample. High hard contact rate. 2 homer per 9. 308 average allowed. A 361 xFIP. So maybe not going to sustain this much of a terrible number. Against righties, 16 average, 21% K rate, extreme ground ball rate. Going to face a half and half Tigers team that's been good, playing way above most people's expectations and playing better than most people would realize. Especially if you look at Javier Baez's stat line, like if we did this exercise where I just blur out Javier Baez's name. And again, this is a results thing, not a like if I just told you, hey, this $3,400 DraftKings player or this $2,900 Fanduel player is batting .319 with an .870 OPS and 5 homers. This is our value play of the day. Like, oh, I'm interested. Then if I say, oh, it's Javier Baez, you'll be like, what? Well, Javier Baez is having that kind of a season. He's a little fluky, right? But fun. Also, did you know he's the brother-in-law of Jose Barrios? For some reason that's red, much like his homers and his hits. That's cool. Anyway, Tariq Skubal, really good at baseball. Gonna put him in the top of the interest chart on this game. Has the highest floor of any player in this game, and he's just good. Unless you're playing some obscure express slate, you're not gonna have access to him on the day. Kind of unfortunate to get, you know, a Cy Young caliber pitcher. Kind of wasted. Usually I'm not running to pitch against the Red Sox. This version of the Red Sox lineup certainly positions itself to offer up a ton of strikeouts. This projected lineup is a 25.5% aggregate K rate since the beginning of last year against lefties, and you get the Comerica Park cozy confines, which plays extremely favorable to pitchers, unlike Fenway. So it's a good spot for Skubal. I guess naturally would get to Tigers, then Dobbins, but there's really no point in listening out. I will put a projection in just to have it, but it's not really going to populate on a front page. So let's go Dobbins, go Skubal, but we can just eke it out here. Got a prop bet. Gonna walk there for Skubal. We'll go check out our outs. Skubal's at 18 outs. Dobbins 18.5. So for 18 outs against this projected lineup, I'm pulling a 7.47 strikeout prop. Strikeout result. I believe I saw PrizePicks list Skubal at 7, so seems like appropriately priced. And then quality start implication fantasy him out to 37.8 on FanDuel, 28.24 on DraftKings. So $43.5. So it's actually a little bit more, but I think they're also including the win. So you're not getting a break on Skubal, that's for sure. But everything coming up roses for him if you are playing something with. I haven't heard a "Coming to America" quote yet. Like AI broken to America. I don't quote that movie a lot. I know it, right? Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Louis Anderson, I think, was in that movie. The mop bucket boy. That movie have a lot of quotables. I feel like I don't like McDowell's. Like there's some references, but I don't know if I got a lot of quotables from that movie. Like a Step Brothers or a Hangover or Family Guy. All right, main slate now. Rays and the Blue Jays, 3.7 run total. Rays, Blue Jays, 4.5. Ryan Pepe out taking on Chris Bassett. Bassett the Basset Hound. I'm still believing, but two rough start, actually three out of his last five rough starts, where we've seen 4 earned runs in 3 of those last 4 after I got behind him for a potential Cy Young candidacy. And he's allowed 2 homers in each of his last 3 games. So that's not what you want. But I still like what he's done this season. Still appreciate the increase in strikeout rate, increase in swinging strike rate. We'll see if we can things. I'm gonna call him Clay. Yeah, that's a good one. Why every time we talk about boxing, white man gotta bring up Rocky Marciano? That's day one. Okay, all right, that's a good portable one. I guess I could use that for the Clay Holmes matchup against the Pirates. Clayton. Mama calling Clay. It was Sam Jackson? Yeah, I didn't clock that. I have to go back and watch that. I love watching old movies that have like surprise I want to say cameos, but you see actors that became big just having a run-of-the-mill part. There's a couple of old movies where Kevin Hart's like that, right? Like 30-year-old version, 40-year-old version, whatever that movie's called. I feel like Kevin Hart was in that one. It's just like a supporting actor. Like that. 11%, 10%, 5%, 7%, 15% swinging strike rate. So his swinging strike rate has plummeted since the Atlanta game. And I was pretty big on his slider, I think. And he went from using the slider to not. That's annoying. Cameos in Miami Vice TV. It might be a little before my time. Oh, I can't talk about. You ever seen Barbershop? I feel like that movie was inspired by his mama call him Clay. And he sat right down in that chair. He said, oh, those are fun. Dude, Bassett has so many pitches. Excuse me. Sinker, cutter, curveball, splitter, sweeper, four-seamer, slider, and changeup are all pitches that Bassett has registered this season. Right, you run out of buttons on MLB The Show. Yeah, I just pick up the ball, put my finger some kind of way, and let it go. Like you, Darvish. AP Crawford got scratched. Good call. Do we got a replacement? Elton. Bald. Master Brony's lead. Go update. I'm sensitive. All code. There's. Yeah. Everyone moves up. But Astrobroni and Rivas. Yo, Rivas. Another lefty. Well, I mean, honestly, no Crawford's a bump. Probably not a. Really feel like it. What we doing? We're looking at Mr. Bassett. Jeez. All right. This one's pretty simple. We're really never in a position where we want to go out our way to pitch against the Blue Jays on a full slate. We're just not a strikeout team, so let's just punch in that K rate. That 5 straight here. Bassett. 4 outs, 18 for Bassett. Dude, Mr. 6 innings here. What up, Tall? Modern problems with Chevy Chase and Mr. Lockwood. Those are some names. Martin. You know, it's a little chalky, but one of my favorite movies of all time, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And whenever I'm watching movies with Pookie, a little younger, I'm like, man, I don't know if these movies from the 80s and 90s will hold up to today's standards. I could sit down and watch Tommy Boy, Dumb and Dumber, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's like all day. I don't know if these youngsters' attention span will click. Especially Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But that movie just makes me laugh so much. Matriculate on to the Pirates and the Mets. Pirates have a 3 implied run total. Mets 5.3. Bailey Falter is Clayton Holmes, but I tell you what, his mom call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. I guess we could use that for Clayton Kershaw. He's coming back soon. Raise your hands between 2 pillows. Those aren't pillows. Hell of a game. Hell of a game, dude. Go freak. You the shower curtain ring feller. Might have some weather here. Let's see what Ross said. Rain likely stays clear of the ballpark. Temps are cool in the low 60s. Winds are in from right at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Better weather for pitchers and hitters. All I am. Man. So the Pirates look like they're limping for a bit without O'Neal Cruz. Yeah, has been out of the lineup for a couple days now. So we'll see if he comes back. And then I kind of didn't expect him in the lineup yesterday as it was kind of ugly. But see if he makes the lineup today. With that said, Pirates are pretty bad with O'Neal Cruz. Without him, sheesh, it's really, really rough. The aggregate K rate against righties since the beginning of last year, 22.3%. And Clay Holmes has been pretty solid. Former Pirate, by the way. If you didn't know that, Clay Holmes was just a random Pirates pitcher. The Yankees saw something in him and went and grabbed him. So it is starting against his old team. Funny how that happened. So immediately We're gonna have interest in Clay Holmes, and then the Mets offense will always kind of look kind of good. You know, a little weather woes, temperature woes. But Bailey Falter, contact lefty, in for a treat because I love Frankie Lindor, I love Pete Alonso, and you look at this 1 through 4 in the projected starting lineup for the Mets, and you're getting 230 plus ISOs, 800 to 900 OPSs, and WRC pluses through the roof. So stop me if you heard this before, but the Mets look like a pretty solid stack as they do every single day of the season. You might get a weird version of this lineup as well that maybe puts Starling Marte up a little bit higher, but any which way you slice it, I think it's going to be really easy to fill out a 3 to 5 man Met stack and not feel like you're making bad clicks. Falter, a 195 average allowed to righties this season, seems pretty lucky with his 4.4 xFIP and the hard contact and barrel rate. I'm assuming he's got like a, maybe it's O'Neal Cruz. Bailey Falter. I'm assuming he's got like a career low back. .204 BABIP, not too bad. Pretty lucky. Not playing Bailey Falter, not even if there's a fire. Clay will go 25. I think what Clay is, I'm never sure that we're going to get a lot of pitches out of him. Makes me a little hesitant on quality start stuff. Vegas has him at okay, Ron, we get it. That's another one. Okay, Ron, we get it. You're a guy. Back-to-back 6-inning games for Clay Holmes. Has not touched 100 pitches this season. And that's something I kind of don't anticipate often as a converted bullpenner, a starter. But he's getting up there now. So seeing 6 innings in 3 of his last 4 certainly is encouraging, especially against dampened or potentially dampened Pirates line. So I'm gonna give him 17.5. Alter play through. What's up, Cujo? We're doing all right. Love John Candy. Throw Mama from the Train. Old school with Rodney Dangerfield. Oh God, you devil. Cannonball Run. You didn't mention Uncle Buck. Yeah, there's a lot. So John Candy was right before me. So a couple of those movies bled over. And I just loved his sense of humor. I later learned that John Candy was a big wrestling fan. There's a lot of secret pictures of John Candy backstage at old WWF shows. But that was like a golden age. Oh, Larry. What up, Lone Wolf? The Thanksgiving go-to movie, just like Die Hard every Christmas. I don't know, dude. I was always a sucker as a kid for like the road trip comedies. That kind of fits the bill. You guys ever seen Due Date with Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey? To me, that feels like a modern Planes, Trains, and Automobile. And it's great. Not a bad thing, but if you ever seen that, if you've seen both movies, did you guys feel the connection between those two movies like I did? What up, Max? Ref is a great Christmas movie. All right. On White Sox taking on the Reds. We did just get a Reds lineup. It looks like a little different. But we got Davis Martin spinning the seams against Nick Lodolo. White Sox are 3.5 run total. 5.2 for the Reds. Leading off with Gavin Lux, Santiago Espinal, Ellie, Austin Hayes, Spencer Steer, Jose Trevino, yep, Will Benson, Matt McClain, Hines. Is your Lou? So TJ Friedel was he left the game yesterday with an injury. Serious enough. Evan Lux, Spencer Steer, at Shack tomorrow, 15th anniversary. 15 cents mozzarella sticks. Every month of 15 different items. Sell for cheap. What up, EB? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Johnny. Dude, we're a lot of movies listed in chat, and I feel like they all have the 1980 name. Let me see. Throw Mama from the Train. Is that Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito? Literally before I was born. You say John Candy was in that? National Lampoon's Old Great Outdoors. Ooh. Fear and Loathing. 1998. What a cast, dude. I've never even heard of this movie. Johnny Depp, Tobey Maguire, Gary Busey, Cameron Diaz. Holy cow, dude. That's kind of a goated cast. I like movies like that where you see a bunch of goats before they become goat. Oh, John Candy, yeah, from Planes, Trains, Autumn. We got a White Sox lineup as well. Lineup. Looking real as projected out there. Davis Martin versus Nick Lodolo is our pitching matchup. Lodolo's carry rate has plummeted year over year since 2023, down to a 19.3% K rate. The swing and strike rate's just under 10%. The barrel rate's 7.5%. And this White Sox team, as much as they've sucked this year, they do project, at least this confirmed lineup, project as a not super strikeout team, at least 7 out of 9. Luis Robert can strike out, and so can Michael A. Taylor. The WRC pluses aren't like fantastic, but there's not like, especially on Fanduel at 9,700, it's not like crazy free flop. This is a 10 strikeout spot for him. No, you get a 19% carry guy that gets a lineup with 2 guys striking out above average. I don't see really how you get there with confidence on FanDuel. DraftKings is like a maybe. But we are interested in the Reds. Davis Martin, contact pitcher, power to lefties. The tough park to have some power problems, especially the lefties. Gavin Lux, Ellie De La Cruz looking nice there. Now, Gavin Lux, kind of a surprise leadoff, yeah? Lux is coming in at 16% probability to homer and a bomb detector. And I don't know if the books have adjusted already, but I had just ran these numbers when we went live. And there's a little bit of implied value from the spreadsheet fair odds versus the book. So Gavin Lux in that leadoff spot against Davis Martin. Could be a fun home run click if you can still get a decent price on it. Out of curiosity. Get it at 650, so it just dropped 50 points there, but still EV left in that price, especially leading off. And then maybe because of that. You have fantasy points. You have 5.5 fantasy points on PrizePicks. So I think that's an interesting spot for him. That leadoff spot, probably to be had. The Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. I actually have seen that. I used to have that on DVD. Put a picture projection here for Davis Martin. Oh, 15%. Adolo, 15%. Walk rate, 7.5. Adolo. I haven't heard Daisy bark since I threw her out there. Outs. I'm guessing we're gonna go around 14.5 for Davis Martin. Jesus. 15.5 on the under. Give him 15 and 8. Lodolo's at. Am I sleeping on Lodolo? Like, it's not like trending upward. Right? I feel like he is for DFS, but it is the White Sox. I get it. People just see White Sox and click it. Duff Plus. Lately. 110, 104. I mean, 4 of his last 5 games have had really good stuff plus, and the game he didn't was Colorado. And all stuff. Spider changeup. What about this play? 14% swing and strike rate, 14%, 11%. Tell you what, he started out really contacty. Nationals, whatever, crappy. But 4 of his last 5 games, good swing and miss. Stuff plus is pretty good in 4 of his last 5 games. Four seamer curveballs. I just. Do you have a slider there, right? Curveball. I have to check that. Lodolo. Alright. Sorry, chat. I'm on a rabbit hole. I know. But it does kind of like impact our. It literally says right here. They're tracking Lodolo at 27.4% slot. No curve. Compared to this year. But when you look at pitch type, no slider. Last year, no slider. Why? They say there's a 27.4% slider usage. Still on a slider. So I believe we just found an error. But it is kind of annoying. Hey, I bet. Oh, they've got him using. So that seems right, but just for some reason, Lodolo is wrong. Oh, what are the odds of me finding that? No Soto, holy. Big Liberatore with 4.5. Yesterday he finished with 4. Ooh. All right, let me make a note here on Lodolo. Lodolo's pitch report is inaccurate. There is an error. My boy Rob F. I know he lives and dies by the pitch report. At least put a note there. For some reason, Lodolo's pitch report is wrong, and it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's no good. No good. You guys ever seen a little Spanish dude, or ask him?
So we built
about the fence.
this path here, but we didn't realize that the gates had to shut. Right, Antonio? The gate won't even close because the road's in the way. What do you think, Antonio?
No good.
It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. I don't know, man. The picture for us, it's no good. I don't know how to fix that. Let's put in. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's go. Let's go adjust our Mets line. Indoor, Mark Vientos. Little day off for on Soto. A lot of righties up against Bailey Falter. It will probably detract from the overall WRC plus, which might take away from stack rating. But honestly, I'm okay with that. You take away a 5K bat, you still get a really strong 1 through 3. Gun froze on my TV for a second. No good. It's not. All right, Nationals and the Braves. Mitchell Parker taking on Bryce Elder. Braves lineup is out. It's confirmed. Eli White. Leadoff spot. On Murphy. Ozzy. Second, there's 2 of them. Stuart Fairchild. Mitchell Parker, 13.3% K rate this season, 3.4% barrel rate. So for all of his woes, his inability to strike people out, his over 5.39 xFIP to both sides of the plate, his high walk rate, his redeeming quality, 44% ground ball rate to both sides of the plate. He is missing the barrel of the bat. So, walking and teeter-tottering a fine line. This Braves offense has a 5.1 run total. And backing up Mitchell Parker is an atrocious Nationals bullpen. So, have to list out Braves the top of our single game interest ranking. And then with Bryce Elder pitching, he's got a lot of power woes to both sides of the plate. An elevated average allowed to righties, an elevated xFIP, almost 5 aggregate 5 xFIP the last 3 seasons versus lefties. He's facing a Nats team that is pretty lefty heavy in terms of talent. CJ Abrams, James Wood, Nate Lowe at the top are the names that stick out, but Abrams and James Woods really appealing to me. Truist Park has been above average park in homers allowed to lefties, so a good spot for them and their 200 plus aggregate ISO to come into play. And then anytime James Wood can neutralize his 30% K rate, in this case top it in half with Bryce Elder's 15% K rate, you can Steiner math that into a plus spot for Wood to maybe put up some damage. So I'm gonna go Nats Substack as my second interest. I'm likely not investing in either pitcher from this spot. So let's go 13.5% Parker K rate. Older, we're gonna give him 19. Walk rates here 11%. Older walks lefties a lot more than righties. Lineup's gonna be lefty. We'll put a little weight on that and we'll go 8. No good. 8.5. How we shake that one out. Each schedule has them with 5 primetime games in the first 8 season. Also play on Thanksgiving and Christmas. First time in NFL history. God dang. Then, second half of the season to start switching games in prime time. It makes sense, yeah. I'm sure it's not just them. I'm sure it's the networks that are paying for those. Saying, hey, we want Patrick. Ant-Man free square. They give us like a taco or something. Into it. Well, opt into it. Oh, good. Move on to the next game. Because I'm a rusted and Ryan weathered, barely holding together. Ryan Weathers starting for the Marlins here, up against Jameson Ion. Marlins 3.1 run total. Cubs 4.6. Weathers a 22% K rate so far, or last season. He has not pitched this season. Went off the IL. Okay. Ryan Weathers doing in the minors. Had 10.2 innings, 13 Ks, 6.75, 6.9 ERA. That's pretty good. Double spring ground ball stuff so far. Now this is like no sample. I guess they figured it can't be worse. So we'll lean on a lot of what we had last year at the major league level for Ryan Weathers, which was an elevated ground ball rate to both sides of the plate, a little bit of a power problem to righties as a southpaw, elevated xFIP, and an okay barrel rate. So inversely, Tyon 18.3% K rate this season, 12.4% barrel rate, throwing strikes and allowing power to lefties. Jesus Sanchez maybe could take advantage of that. 60 degrees, a little breeze going in. Naturally, we're interested in the Cubs offense, and this is more of just betting on their talent over anything. Weathers seems serviceable. He can at least match what he brought to the table last. This projected Cubs lineup through Dansby Swanson in the leadoff spot. Remember, no Ian Happ here, so we've seen Pete Crow Armstrong lead off against righties. Do that against the lefty? Probably not. So Dansby Swanson seems like, I would say him more than John Birdie. Birdie has good speed, but he doesn't get on. So you lead off with kind of Dansby. This gives you a really solid lane of aggregate 200 ISO against lefties, and then Seiya Suzuki, Carson Kelly. Really fun clicks to maybe get in Tucker or Swanson. So a lot you can do here with this Cubs lineup. PCA is playable no matter what, but 5K for a 7-hole hitter at home certainly doesn't feel as warm and fuzzy as a leadoff guy, and he might still lead off. That's just what the projected says, and it makes a lot of sense. You could even get crazy and like now we're talking crazy. Not super enamored with either pitcher. There is a lot of strikeouts in this Marlins lineup, particularly weighted strikeouts. What I mean by that is 4 of these guys don't strike out, 4 of these guys do strike out, and the guys that do strike out in aggregate 33+%. So the lane here is the projected 5 through 8. And yeah, so I think Ion could make the pool. I think we put him in a 3.1 run total. It's a process play more than anything at this point. Vegas gonna be a 3-point run total. There's no positive weather boost. And Tyon could throw pitches, get through 6. Might be more of a Fanduel play. 100 pitches is viable, and 6-7 innings is not an outlandish realm of possibility. Let's do that. And for weathers, I don't know. I'm gonna mimic numbers from last season. 21 carrot. Go. Carrot. I'm gonna go out. Get him at 13.5. Right. Enough gap. So, Ion has a really good chance. Yeah, good. For the cause. Feeling kind of Dansby. Hold me closer. Kind of Dansby. Dad, I'm working on a real life venture. I have a billion dreams, right? I'm always an entrepreneur, starting businesses. I've got a lot that I've done, a lot that have failed, a lot that have succeeded. My latest venture is a passion project for my passionate dogs. So I want to create a revenue source that will also go back to helping dogs in need. It's through a local organic dog bakery, like me, and I am the most never cooked, never do anything person of all time. So I did a lot of research on good ingredients, a lot of research on, you know, how to make some treats, stuff like that. So the other night, went and bought whole wheat flour, organic peanut butter, pumpkin puree, eggs, all that stuff. And my big old butt was in there making some dog cakes, you know what I mean? Long story short, I got flour everywhere, bro. If you came in my house and I tried to clean it, I've washed this sweater twice. I probably look like I was on a massive Coke binge. But every day I'm making like sample batches to just know I can get better at it. But I've learned, here I am pushing 40. I have no idea how to cook. Bake, none of that. But I will say, the treats that I did make, finally, Daisy loved them. Heck, ever since I gave her those treats, she's been barking. So maybe those treats are so good they make you want to bark at your mama. Anyway, I thought about that because I looked down and I see flour specks on my desk. Dude, I was rolling freaking dough. I never in my life rolled dough that I made from scratch. Anyway, that's my next business venture. Be losing me to a chef hat and an Italian mustache coming soon. It's gonna happen. Rocky's lineup came out. What up, Henry? Henry. Antonio Sensatella taking on Patrick Corbin. Patrick, do you suck? Yes. Why? Because I can't throw a curveball. This might be I feel like I say it once a day. Unstoppable force, immovable object of suck. Patrick Corbin and his 15% K rate. 139 whip. Walking lefties, 12.5%. That's not had a K rate above 18.2% for 3 years running. Today has met his match of suck in the form of the Colorado Rockies. Few games removed from changing their manager and bench coach. On pace to be the worst team of all time. Outside of Brenton Doyle and Kyle Farmer. An aggregate 30% K rate. With just 2 players. Okay, technically 4 with positive WRC pluses, but man, it's rough. I always say bad hitting beats bad pitching at the major league level, but I don't think this is major league hitting. What are we doing, chat? You gotta do one. It's gotta be one side, right? I'm leaning Patrick Corbin, and that just feels so bad. There are some ISOs in this Rockies lineup. Beck, Goodman, Talia, Stallings. Guess we could. I hate my life sometimes, and this is one of those times. Life. Yeah, this random Twitter account, The Roof. Hello. Yeah, so, yeah. 3.7 run total. I mean, this is just one of those we let Vegas tell it, and we just go off the numbers. By the way, Sensatella, god awful. So, and the Rangers have not been reliable, to say the least. Update on Corey Seager. He's just straight up on the IL. It's gonna be a while. God dang. Just like, I don't know. Just like the Trailblazers versus the Magic. I feel like it'll have some impact on the slate based on the combustible elements involved. But ew. Gonna go Rangers? I can't believe I'm typing this. Patrick Corbin. Rockies. I'm not typing Sensatella. You're not gonna make me do it. This is. All right, let's fill out a K rate. Sensatella 10%. Go 5% on the walk rate. Patrick Corbin. Oh my. 15%. They can't walk. Biggest 17.5. With that, we get Patrick Corbin at 6.12 strikeouts. Who woke up today to bet on Patrick Corbin over strikeout props? Come on, one of you sick freaks did it. Corbin. Oh my god, get over a 1. Oh, on the confirmed lineup that's already out. Oh boy. You bought modes off it, dude. Yeah, Amazon has some fun ones. I was just making like squares with a pizza cutter, But yeah, it's fun too. Once this Kansas City doesn't give up strikeouts, I trust Gordon in his debut. It's just like, okay. I'll let the numbers tell it, but Corbin, I mean, like I said, I just let Vegas lead the way. Gives me Corbin at 28.6 Fanduel points. Now, I'm not probably going to give him anything towards a quality start, but at 17.5 outs, there, he's right there. 2.4 earned run implied. He broke 30 fantasy points. I wouldn't be stunned. What's the... I can't do this. I promise you wouldn't do this anymore. This is the type of gambling that gets people divorced. 29.5 fantasy, so that's pretty in line with my projection. Ramirez. Nice, Pojan. He went to sleep for a while. I think he homered yesterday too. Yeah, there was like a stretch where the Guardians weren't guarding. All right, I'm just gonna move on, dude. I'm just gonna move on. Royals taking on the Astros. Royals a 4.2 run total. Astros 4.5. Michael Lorenzen 21% K rate. Look at his righty splits, which we've discussed ad nauseum at this point. Astros come out super righty heavy. No Yordan Alvarez, so Carantini likely the only lefty. So we can really fixate ourselves on the 23.3% K rate for Lorenzen this season against righties. But he also gives up homers, a lot of fly balls. So not a perfect spot by any stretch of the imagination. Not a ton of implied strikeouts in Astros lineup. Inversely, Colton Gordon. He's here. Plays Bray Wyatt. We're here. 43 strikeouts and 42.1 innings in the minors this season. 1.2 WHIP. So a strikeout per inning. I just went full Macho Man right there. I don't know. Ooh yeah, the PCL. 270 average allowed, 1.2 WHIP. So the average is high. Usually a WHIP like that also makes me want to check out the walks. 8 walks, 42 innings. 6 homers in 42 innings. So that's more than you would want. But the PCL is notorious for being more offensive. Normally you like to see 1 per 10. But I also say like it's hard to 1-to-1, especially in your first start. Your minor league numbers at the major league level. Matter of fact, so many times kid gets called up and they tremble and they get smacked. A 1.7 walk per 9 this season. 2.85 and a 4 the last couple of years. So might be some command issue. A little bit of command issues, and the changeup's not pristine. Fastball, curveball, pretty good. Little slider, curve, 4-pitch. And yes, it is not a good strikeout Royals lineup, but it's not like a super patient walk a lot lineup either. Bet they got some funky swing percent. I'm not. Did I miss Blue Jays? Yeah. I had kind of blanked it. I think both pitchers are in play though. Macho Man was the go. He had aura. Kids would say. All right, I'm gonna go. I don't know what to do with this one. I really believe, like, I don't trust a okay strikeout. I mean, a strikeout per inning. Cool, tough matchup. The chances he comes and shoves, and he may not even go 5. Implied for just at 5. Game's kind of a wash here. I'm just kind of hoping that it doesn't go nuclear. All right, let's give Lorenzen a 22% carry based on his righty splits. For Colton, I'm gonna give him 22. A little bit of 7, go 10%. 17.5. Honey, where's the rent money? Listen, Patrick Corbin had the Rockies, babe. You don't understand. Gundacker's spreadsheet had Corbin for over a strikeout more than what the books had him at. I had to do it. You may not realize this now, babe, but the expected value made it a great decision, no matter the result. I want a divorce. Two games left. 3 games left. 2 games left. Angels and the Padres. Kyle Hendricks taking on Randy Vasquez. Takes a good look at Randy. Batman. You guys ever seen that Family Guy episode? Hmm. 3.9 run total, 5.3 for the Padres. Vasquez, not good. Not what you want. Kyle Hendricks, also not good. Petco, pitcher's paradise. 1 walk-off by Tatis yesterday. I don't know if there was a lot of walk-offs yesterday, actually. There was like 5. So good night for baseball. But Tatis's bat flip was kind of gangster, but I don't know if it was more gangster than Trent Grisham's bat flip, where he like spinned the bat and then dropped it. Let me find. He had some swag. Just fill out the K prop. Takes a good look at Randy. Hey there, Rover. Yeah, tell me y'all know what I'm talking about. Apparently I like spoofed Randy Newman. He was just like on the piano, live singing what they were doing. Then he goes, takes a good look at Randy. Walk rate. I'm out here with the obscure references today. You know. Sounds like every DFS host every day. Hey.
With T-Mobile 5G home internet, mankind can...
Oh, crazy. The what? Hey, phone's going nuts with it. From in the center, probably missed it. It was like the original Family Guy episode or episode season before it got canceled. It's he said a good long hard look at Ray. He was eating an apple. We're gonna go Padres. Padres team against righties is a lot better than lefties, and they're a little bit more healthy now than earlier in this season. So Jackson Merrill, Gavin Sheets, against, you know, just dare you to hit it. Kyle Hendricks, I'm in. And then Kyle Hendricks has had a really, really rough time with keeping righties in the park. So Tatis and Machado should profile pretty well. I gotta assume Tatis gotta be off of the number 2 behind Reese Hines. But Reese Hines is a little bit of small sample, but not like none. He actually a beast, but probably a little too much. But as far as full sample, Tatis is number 1 on the bond detector. No surprise there. Machado's far behind. Would probably be behind like a Tatis fantasy point prop play on PrizePicks. They have it for like 7 and Nando. They have at 8.5. Still, I'd probably take it. Angels bullpen horrendous. Kyle Hendricks beatable. Inversely though, Randy Vasquez not good. So Angels are unfortunately in play, and as much as it is like fun to meme the Angels and their strikeout rates, and we were all over Dylan Cease yesterday, like they still got a little sneaky pop. We saw them make the best closer in baseball collapse. And then if you get past these K rates here, we got some decent walk rates and some decent ISOs. So Randy Vasquez has an elevated walk rate and a power problem to lefties. Now probably face more righties than lefties, but the mixture, the combustible elements for the big inning can be there, especially when you're, you know, such a bad pitcher. And he is outperforming his expected stats, 3.76 ERA, but almost a 6 expected ERA, a 6.38 Sierra. So like the Angels are very live here, in my opinion. To gotta do some damage. I think I'll real inclusive back up. All right, Archer. I don't think I've seen. The only Archer I know from this century is Chris Archer. Okay, rest in peace. Not dead. One game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause. Remind you guys, if you're stumbling across this video on YouTube, you're wondering what the heck is this fat guy rambling about, quoting John Candy and Family Guy. Well, in between all that, we upkeep the MLB Grind premium spreadsheet, which is my baby, something I've developed over the past 10 years to help me navigate the slates and the baseball games in an expeditious manner, presenting in a convenient, easy to consume manner data, analytics, information I find useful in a quick pin to make some informed decisions. And we've also color coded it so that you don't have to have 10 plus years of data analytics and saber sim experience. You can just sign right up, click on through, and quickly get information to absorb the slate expeditiously. You guys have been listening to this stream, or maybe you've been lurking for a couple streams now. Everything we do for this spreadsheet, we update the stats daily. We're pulling stats from the beginning of last year. We're splitting them up on the main page, and we are crunching them in a couple of different manners to help you make some fun decisions. We got the index portal, which is a broad look at every game on the slate, giving you your run totals, your pitcher matchups, a quick glimpse at the bullpen, and your splits for the pitchers. And sometimes when necessary, I'll put a note for either team, and I also have my interest rankings on slates that I am playing. We also have projections that we developed for the slate, and I've also kind of run them out to show strikeout projections, walk projections, all that stuff to kind of serve not just DFS, but also the player prop community. We have the world famous bomb detector, something that I was a little bit notorious for over the course of the last decade in the community, and I've added to it this season to include a few more moving elements, such as weighted park factors, weighted weather factors, and a little bit of bullpen considerations, and also converted the bomb rating into probability to homer, our fair odds for that probability, and then market representation of odds you could get on the market. We talked about it earlier. Gavin Lux, somebody that projects like a good value click to hit a homer, meaning not necessarily he's a lock to homer, but the probability priced in the market offered some value versus what we felt was a fair market value. So a lot of times you see the market taxing you, like Tatis, he's plus 300 on Fanduel at the start of the stream to homer. We think a fair market odd is 458. So you're kind of overpaying if you want to take him there. But there are times where you can get a good deal, and if you agree or disagree with the spreadsheet, sometimes you'll find 300 to 600 to 700 point discrepancies between our fair odds and the markets. Xander Bogaerts, not a big power guy, but we do have a 16% probability to homer off of the aforementioned Kyle Hendricks. That's a 260 discrepancy between our fair line and stuff like that. So pretty easy to chop that up and find it. And you can find some really fun long shots in the bottom of the chart as well. The pitcher projections, we've kind of gone through that. And then we also have stack ratings. I'll show the stack rating after this next game, which essentially considers all that information that we've already researched game by game in a very quick manner, combining player WRC pluses, the run totals, the stolen base likelihood, bullpens, all that stuff. So if you want something like this added to your daily repertoire of tools you can use, go to MLBgrind.com, click premium membership. There's week passes, month passes, season pass. You get a link to the spreadsheet, you get a link to the Discord. That's it. All right, that's my one plug for a 2-hour stream. So check it out. Good way to support the stream, support the site. Main event tonight, the Athletics taking on the Dodgers. 3.3 run total for the Athletics. Athletics went crazy last night. Landon Knack had a knack for not holding them at bay. Yoshi Yamamoto on the bump against Gunnar Hoglund. May not be a curtain call that the Athletics want here against Yamamoto, who's pretty doggone flipping good. Watch your profanity. Top of the interest ranking for me is Yamamoto. And help is on the way, but it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back for the Dodgers lately with pitcher health. Yamamoto comes into this game having gone 5, 6, 5, 7, 6 innings in his last couple of starts, and got upwards of 100 pitches last night because of the blowout. They didn't really have to bring in some of their good arms, but you're kind of hoping for 6 to 7 from any pitcher. But at a 10K pitcher, you're especially hoping for a quality start and a win on Fanduel. So Arizona, his last start, Chase Field. I don't know if the roof was open or not, but Arizona's a pretty good team. So is Athletics. And he's had kind of a rough start altogether. Oh, I'm walking here. The Cubs, the Tigers have been solid. The Phillies, Cubs. And then schedule's gotten a little bit more damp lately. But no matter what, we've seen a little bit of a ceiling that's worth chasing. 30 fantasy points is not outside the realm of possibility. Almost 34 against the Cubs. 37 against the Rangers. That one you kind of expect. 28 against the Braves. So there is a little volatility here because the Athletics are good and a lot of really, really solid WRC pluses. But it's a risk I'm willing to take. So I got Yamamoto at the top of my interest ranking here. And then Gunnar Hoglund, kind of a youngster, rookie pitcher, 22.7% K rate so far this season, but a 12.2% swing and strike rate. I think his numbers still need some time to normalize. Kind of I feel like, hey kid, come play in this minor league ballpark in Sacramento. Also, what are you doing on May 14th? Because we need somebody to pitch against. So no matter what happens today, I wouldn't give up on him. But at Miami, what a great way to start. And then you get a tough offense in Seattle. Held them at bay for what it's worth, right? 2 earnings, 5.1 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. So where does Gunnar Hoglund kind of fall in the middle of those two stats? So I think those are like extreme opposites. So remind ourselves on what Hoglund will do or did in the minors. 229.1 career innings, 203 strikeouts, so less than a strikeout per. This season, 29.2 innings, 30 strikeouts, so about a strikeout per, but a 104 on the whip. Good enough, serviceable, but it is it's the freaking Dodgers. So I'm going to lean Dodgers against the unknown. And then there is a range of outcome for the Athletics to surprise Yamamoto. A lot of positive WRC pluses, a lot of positive OPSs, a lot of positive ISOs. I wouldn't say that I leave them off, but it's more of a deep tournament play. I respect Yamamoto's skill a little bit more. Great ground ball rate. Does allow power to righties though. And if he doesn't strike out, you tap into that righty power. You might get another Jacob Wilson bomb like we saw yesterday, who doesn't strike out, but he's normally not a big power guy. That was fun. And as much as they did yesterday, Soderstrom wasn't really part of it. Nick, dramatic pause. Kurtz got his first one yesterday. It kind of got stupid at the end. So that's how we break that one down. So Hoglund, let's give him a 22%. I thought I heard someone knocking, so I went one ear cup. My grass needs to be mowed, so at this point I'm just waiting for somebody to knock and offer it. Crazy how often that happens. Yamamoto 7.5. I walk. Vegas 17.5. We'll give him an 18. 15. 3 implied boost points. They'll cover the quality start and win implicate. Rangers confirm lineup. Nice. We'll sweep back and get those lineups that we can get. I need to really get your projection. Back rating. For you South Park fans, you gotta watch the 25th anniversary concert. I was late to the party, but that was the most fun I've had in a minute. Oh, they did like a show that was strictly music. been a while since I've sat down and watched almost anything. The only thing I watched lately that's not like related to work is I watch some Kill Tonys, or I'll watch some flicks with Faye, but most of those are just like stuff I've seen that she hasn't, which is fun. Get yourself a girl that has not watched anything, then you could watch all your favorite stuff over again. I just rewatched Yellowstone last year. Then we got the last season. Fortunately, the last season was super rushed, and you could feel it. Popping open. What am I doing? Jesus. So it would be cool to watch. I haven't watched a lot of the new seasons of Family Guy either, but I felt like that show fell off, man. It doesn't make me laugh like it used to. I don't know if they got softer or my sense of humor got worse. I don't know. Maybe cancel culture kind of hear that. All right, stack ratings for the main slate. Mets still number one without Soto, but no team hit 6, but 5.99 is close enough. Dodgers, Padres, Cincy, Texas, Atlanta. A lot of these are unconfirmed lineups, so there is some wiggle room. We mentioned the Angels. They're about 5. We are getting a bunch of lineups. We'll go back and sweep, and then in the Chris Bassett comes in on top. Moto this low. Look, I've done something wrong for that to happen. 15 innings, 30% K rate, 3 towards a quality start. Didn't be that. I guess it's the matchup. I mean, he's not that much, so there's like a point. It's on Fanduel. Fanduel, he's number 1. Came in 4th on. Kinda crazy. Alright. And then let's pop open the fantasy predictions. Then we'll go get some lineups updated. Hey, Hicks. I just loved it. Up Crease. What's a live concert? Let's take the early slates off of the early games off. I'm gonna take Arizona off. I'm gonna take San Fran off. Walk. I don't. And there's another random game. I'll leave it on there for now, but whatever. Can't wait till Corbin Carroll's a Yankee. Oh. That's rage bait. Who's the most chalk 2-stack of pitchers you think? Home, perhaps. Is Gordon getting like themed like that? I feel like anytime a guy gets called up, people run to stardom. Everyone forgets that. Not really a smooth transition. A lot of guys struggling. That I think the jump to AAA to the major leagues is the biggest curve difficulty. Pitchers. So on DK, Lodolo is highest owned pitcher. Yamamoto, then Clay Holmes, and Taya. Your boy Gordon at 3% owned. Remember, Vegas didn't even give him 15 out. I don't think he's chalk. Oh, you mean the stacks? Oh, two. Oh, okay. So you mean like that? Yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like Gordon's grabbing any owner. Then it's Lodolo, Yamamoto, Holmes, Ion. All those guys are like 30% or above on. I don't really have pushback again. Except Lodolo. I didn't come up with a crazy projection, but like I did go back and give him a couple flowers, right? His stuff plus and 4 of the last 5, his swing and strike rate. Like there's something there, and it's the White Sox. But that time was project. No, I think it wasn't like a crazy strikeout line. Still a tough part. Maybe I'm not there on that. So for him to be the highest owned pitcher, but he comes in at like number 6. Comes in below Patrick Corbin. I hate my life. Oh, I hate my life. Here's Zane coming up quite a bit on other channels. I mean, maybe. I'm straight up looking at Stochastic's ownership projection. And he comes in at 2.9% ownership. I don't know. There's like good pitchers with established track records that you wouldn't play against KC because of their lack of strikeoutness. But to bring up a pitcher, like, don't get me wrong, this guy doesn't seem like he's bad, but his strikeout rate is not crazy. It's like 1 per inning with the elevated whip. It's not like we're working on I don't know, 35% K rate prospect. I don't think he's bad. I don't want to like sound like I'm pooping on him, but it's not like insane stats that we're gambling on against like the Marlins, Rockies, White Sox. We're taking a guy who's okay at strikeouts and putting him against probably the low 8. KC's the second lowest strikeout rate. And then, I mean, it's literally a 1/10 of a point between them and San Diego as far as strikeout rates. Then, we look at the Vegas line for projected outs for Gordon. The line was 14.5. It's juiced up to 15, so you are getting a implied shot at 5 innings. I just don't see enough to be like excited about on a big slate. Like, how often does those stats go to the major league level on day one and shove for a tournament. Like maybe if this was like a 3-gamer, but we have legitimate 25 to 30 fantasy point potential in Yamamoto, Bassett, Holmes, Lodolo, theoretically. So I don't know, man. I mean, if they're hyping him up, they're hyping him up. But I don't really get it. I don't think he's bad. That's not what I'm saying. But like, if Yamamoto was facing the freaking Royals today, I wouldn't be that ecstatic. I think Lorenzo might die here. I don't think that's a machine. I'm gonna ride it. Yeah. Been an extreme fly baller to righties this season, but that's not helping his case here with the Crawford ball. I'm with you. Let's get some stat ownership. I mean, I feel like now that we've talked about it, he's gonna go out there and make me look like a bumbling idiot. But it's still like it's a big enough slate that you're gonna want crazy fantasy from your pitcher spot. Like, I don't know, I have to bring it to shove on them. He throws 91. He's just like perfectly average with above average results. Even the whip was high enough that like if you have a 1.2 whip in AAA, like all these numbers, we expect some positive or negative regression on the transfer, right? Like we expect the strikeout rate to dip because of the majors. Expect the walk rate to go up at the major league level, especially in your first start. Jitters. So I don't know. It's something we see a lot every year. Is like high prospect pitchers come up to the majors, and it's just like, oh, wake up. Let's go get some lineups updated. We'll keep the conversation going. Red Sox lineup: Rand, Devers, Reggie, Refsnyder. Former Yankee great Rob Refsnyder makes the lineup. They basically said, hey, everyone who's right-handed, grab a bat. Except your 2 leadoff guy. Like, what? Come on, what are we doing? You guys see Carlos Narvaez's reaction to Javi Baez's walk-off yesterday? That was really loud. Put some Titanic music on it, but basically, you see he's setting up down and away. Like, that's how you get Javi Baez out. You throw sliders down and away. That's not where that pitch is going to go. And Narvaez just walks off mad. like, what are you doing? He's like, that's not at all what we wanted. What's up, RC? Alright. Rays. Simpson, Brandon Lau, Junior Caminero, Jonathan Aranda, Chris Morel. Arrow. Owski. Laddie, Santander, George Springer, Joe, Kirk, Jonathan. Pirates lineup not out. Mets lineup not already. Abrams and Rosario would oh Rockies. Kenya, Altuve, Perez, Senzo, Yo Dubon. Difference. Bring that strikeout rate down a little bit. And that's it for confirmed lineups. So, here did that anything? A little bit in the bottom. It Angels jumped the Royals. And now that this afternoon games are going, I'm the detector. Walk. Resigns, by the way, top of the bottom detector. Like I said, small sample. He's been freaking ninth. But at the big league level, he's been swinging. He's got like a Aristides Aquino start going. Ironically, the same team. But he wasn't like not somebody that can hit for power at the minors. But obviously, I don't expect him to be. What is that? Probably 22% probability to home run out of the 9-hole. A little bit weird. But numbers we got. 897 OPS so far in the minors this season. 8 bombs at 121 at. Swinging a hot stick. But yeah. All right, we'll cut it. Bet the homies live, right? Yeah, boy, Terry's live. So if you guys want some more baseball chatter, Terry does a good job going through the hitters. Check him out. I'll just spam the link in chat. Go check him out. If you haven't subbed to him, sub to him. He should be getting to 1,000 subs pretty soon. Otherwise, there is no stream tomorrow. We'll be back Friday. Massive Friday slate. And then Saturday. Appreciate you guys. I'll be around in Discord, twitter.com/Gundacker. If you got anything else for me, I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. And hey, while you're at it, go win some money. Ooh.